Welcome to Jeff Rowe's Wide World of Sport Aviation. The Lycoming book on preheating is 10 degrees Fahrenheit. That's 10 degrees Fahrenheit there, or minus 10 Celsius. So we are a few degrees above that. And normally I would preheat this airplane at that temperature. But it's been so mild here, I haven't even winterized this thing yet. Normally I take these shark gills off the side and cover these up. And that forces all the air to go, instead of coming out the side, it all has to go down below the cowling. And gosh, I haven't even had a chance to do that. I have air restrictors to put in here. I will do that for sure. I'll get my flow restrictors in here, and I've got the baffle here that I can lift up and down to block some of the air over the main radiator. And I will also I'll put my restrictor plate on here that reduces the air over one of my oil coolers. Now that's what you call snow removal. I was dreading the thoughts of having to shovel or get the snowblower out on that really frozen snow, so it's going to be a big help. Thank goodness to the airport. That's a big machine. 20 feet wide. 30-foot opening, 20 to 25 feet wide. Oh, that's doing a nice job. Taking it right down on the ramp. Thankfully, that gentleman with the big payloader there, he saved me a lot of time. But I've got a lot of things to do today. And normally I would preheat this airplane, but I don't have to. This is a fuel-injected engine, but it also has a primer system. So I'm going to give it 6 or 7 shots of prime and see if I can get it to fire. And if it does, that'll also save me a lot of time, because one thing about preheating is you got to do it right. You can't preheat for 10 minutes and help you out a little bit. If you're going to preheat, you got to preheat long enough to warm the engine up, because the first thing that happens when you start heating a cold block of engine is you start getting condensation and frost build up inside the combustion chamber and on your spark plugs, etc. So it only takes a few minutes for that to happen, but it takes another half an hour to get rid of it. So you've got to heat it with the system I have, which is, I use a propane heater, and I feed it directly into here. So it's heating the water, the glycol in the rad, and the air is going up and heating the block. But it's a beautiful sunny day, but in 12 hours from now this place is going to be engulfed in a blizzard. So I'm trying to take advantage of the nice weather and get an hour's flying in. So I got the air restrictors in, getting ready to pull this thing out and see if I can start it without a preheat. So it's winter flying, and when I fly in the wintertime I always make sure I carry safety gear. One thing I've got is sunglasses. You don't want to go snow blind on takeoff or landing. I carry a lighter, and I also have my multi-tool, my trusty dusty Leatherman. It's got pliers, got knives, got a mini saw, screwdrivers. I rarely leave home without it, but I never fly without my multi-tool. And in the cabin I always keep a small short-handled axe in there. It's smaller than a full axe, bigger than a hatchet. That's another safety system I carry. The other thing is, normally I would have blankets on here for preheat. So yeah, this sleeping bag that I use for preheating goes in the back seat, and myself I wear a nice warm headgear. I got a toque on. I've got long johns on, got jeans, got insulated nylon snow pants, got a t-shirt, and a flannel shirt, and a nice warm jacket. Doesn't matter how good your heater is or your internal creature comforts are, you need to dress as if you had to walk home. So if I had to walk home, I'm well covered. Okay, well here's hoping this thing starts. Set the throttle a little bit, and the main's on, and the ignition on, one fuel pump on. Normally in the summertime I prime about 3 or 4 times, in the fall 6. Today I'm going to prime it 7 times to give myself a chance to start this thing. As soon as it fires, I flick on what's called the cold start, and that dumps even more fuel in. So let's give it a go. 1, 2, 5, 6, 7. She fired once. Gotta try it again. 1, 2, 3, 4 this time. Come on, baby. Alright, get both pumps on. You run her up. Alright, lean her out a little. Still got the cold start on. Starting to get her up into the normal zone. She was running lean there, so now she's running just a little rich. 2200 RPM. We'll sit here for a little bit. Get my belts on. Get the headsets on.
Copy intercom, Foxtrot, Juliet, Whiskey, radio check. Reading side by side. Are you going out to do circuits? I might do 1 or 2, and then I'll do a local flight. How long do you need to sweep? About 20, 30 minutes. Okay, that should work. I'll get airborne and keep an eye on and listen for you, and then I'll come back after you're done, I hope. Cheers. Okay, very good, thanks. South traffic, Humboldt PA-14, Foxtrot Julie, Whiskey. We're taxiing Charlie, headed across the apron to Alpha. I've got the sweeper and tractor ahead of me.
It's a cold day, so I'm having difficulty keeping this camera running. And the world sure looks different with a blanket of snow on it. This is what I call a pilot and aircraft maintenance flight. I fly the airplane once every 2 or 3 weeks in the wintertime. Keeps me sharp and keeps the fluids pumping through the engine. Airplanes can't sit. So in case these numbers aren't legible, we've been airborne for 18 minutes. Got 165 degrees on the water and about 165 or 70 on the oil. So the system's pretty well balanced. It's -8 degrees Celsius. Got the heat on. The water pressure's running at 14 pounds. Got a 16-pound cap. So all's good. Another thing I'm pointing out here is how well the windshield is cleaned off. There was quite a bit of frost when I took off. But we are aimed into the sun, so that might be helping. What I've found is, if you never touch the inside surface of your windshield, you'll be a happy guy. As soon as you touch that thing with your fingers, You leave oil and then you have to start washing it. You're using rags and cleaners. It never comes perfectly clean. So if you're putting a windshield in, do your damnedest to never touch that surface with your fingers. Now this is something I didn't expect to see here today. This is Sippy Lake near Carleton Place. We got ice shacks out here already. I know this is a lake, but it's actually a dammed swollen river, so there is current. Between Christmas and New Year's, we had a couple of fatalities here. People went through the ice on the Rideau River. Nobody out there, but they got ice shacks. So they pulled them out with snowmobiles or quads. There's footprints and tracks. So these guys are local. I guess they know their ice. They know the ice. You gotta know your ice and you gotta test it. Anyway, good for them. But look at, there's an open spot in the water there. Just between the struts you can see that black spot. That's how precarious it is. Another look at that open spot in front of the struts there. It is a river. You can see it's completely open water flowing through the town of Carleton Place, which is not unusual this time of year. Well, I see a few folks down there on the ski hill, and looks like they're making snow. I don't know why they're bothering, considering how much snow is supposed to come tonight. I have a handheld ICOM radio for VHF communication, and I use a Garmin Era 660 GPS for navigation, both of which are powered through 12-volt sockets. Due to the issues with my camera, I've unplugged the GPS for the remainder of this flight, and I'm plugging my camera through USB adapter into ship's power. Anyway, we're headed home here at about 3 or 4 times normal speed. Turning across the airport, now making a slow downwind turn. Making the turn on the final. Now we're short final. We are down. You can hardly even feel the wheels touch the runway. It's nice to have a little snow on there. Gives the tires a little slip. But that was a nice flight. We got an hour on the GPS timer. The calm before the storm. Anyway, we'll taxi back to the hangar and put this rocket ship to bed. Swing it around with brakes and a thumbs up. That's it. So this is kick off ignition. Beautiful. Well, after the flight I came home and brought in most of this wood here, this whole outer pile and half of that other pile in the back. So got more than I need here, and that's always better than not enough. And just for reference, here's what the yard looks like in the driveway. I'll do a comparison tomorrow. Looks like it seems to be about consistent 8 to 10 inches. And it's still snowing. I haven't checked the weather to see when this is going to stop, but I think we're in for a while yet. And it was nice to take advantage of yesterday's weather and get in that flight. There'll be no flying today. Just a good day to feed the birds and feed the wood stove. I came here to blow snow, but I don't have to. What a machine. I'm getting lucky, awfully lucky with the royal treatment here. I was kind of looking forward to getting the snowblower out and cleaning that myself, but you know what? I think I'll just stand back and get out of the way.